Slidse agus le Charlie le daine fuair bás ar dónach fola. Tá mé an seo ceann buíochas ar maithan ar bhuair son, buíochas a thabhairt den na Charlie, den na daine a bhí cróga, daine a bhí leidir, daine a bhí ag obair le tamil Hán ada ar factas an aranne agus aniu tá sogin mar go bhfuil an sceaft mór mar seo aniu go bhfuil siilse leo a rith na blianta sin. This is a very poignant, a very emotional day for all of us, but particularly for the families of those people who were murdered here on Bloody Sunday and the others who were injured. There's 27 people who were shot by the British Army. And what was to be a peaceful anti-internment march ended in murder, huge shock, trauma for the families and for the people of Ireland. Particularly so for the people of this fine city of Derry. It was a turning point in Irish history and a personal crossroads for tens and thousands of Irish people. Almost 40 years of campaigning, including 12 years of the Savile Inquiry, almost 40 years of cover-up, threats, lies, subversion, ridicule, witchery, censorship, and the suppression of the truth. But in June, the families were vindicated, so Bullabus Moore Marshin. Witchery tried to blame the victims, he tried to blame the marchers, he tried to blame the people of this city, he tried to blame the IRA, everyone but the British Army. Savile set the record straight. I was here the day the Savile report was released. And you know, I've seen this so many times in prison and negotiations. The British officials put in place their little intricate, elaborate protocols and processes. So anybody who was going to see the Savile report had to give a commitment that they wouldn't talk to the media. But even that wasn't good enough. They had to surrender mobile phones. And all of this was for the British government to get their spin out first. But as usual, they missed the resilience and the ingenuity of human beings, and particularly Irish people. Because we all saw up here the little thumbs up coming out. And we knew that all of that nonsense had not broken the will of these families. And of course, and let it be said, the British Prime Minister, David Cameron, admitted that what happened here was wrong, and he apologised for it. And the family spoke for all of us that day. But I want to quote what Tony Doherty, whose father was killed here, what he said. The victims of Bloody Sunday have been vindicated. The parachute regiment has been disgraced. Witchery's great lie has been laid bare. The truth has been brought home at last. It can now be proclaimed to the world that the dead and wounded of Bloody Sunday, civil rights marchers, were innocent one and all. The parachute regiment are the front-line assassins for British political and military elite. Just as the civil rights movement 40 years ago was part of something huge happening all over the world, so the repression that came upon us was the same suffered by ordinary people everywhere who dared to stand up against injustice. Sharpeville, Gronsney, Tenement Square, Darfur, Gaza, let our truth stand as their truth also. Tony spoke for all of us when he said that. David Cameron did the right thing that day. And the people of Derry, particularly the families, were gracious and magnanimous. But the British Prime Minister also said that Bloody Sunday is not the defining story of the British Army in our country. Mr. Cameron, Bloody Sunday is the defining story of the British Army in our country. These people here from Ballymurphy and from Spring Hill in West Belfast, 6 months before Bloody Sunday, the Parachute Regiment murdered 11 citizens in Ballymurphy. 6 months after Bloody Sunday, they went in and murdered 5 more citizens in Spring Hill. The same regiment, and for all we know, the same soldiers. 16 people in all, including 2 local priests, a mother of 8 children, a young girl of 13, and 2 boys of 15 and 16. These families also deserve to know the truth. All victims, including victims of the Republican forces, deserve to know the truth. Victims of collusion, victims of state terrorism, victims of unionist paramilitarism, if we're to have a healing process, all deserve to know the truth. And an independent international truth commission is a way to do this. Not one established by the British government or any of the combatants, but a commission established by an appropriate international agency and facilitated by both governments. Now, the British government may resist this, as it resisted and suppressed the truth of Bloody Sunday. But the Bloody Sunday families have shown the way forward. They have shown everyone the way forward. And that's my main point here today. It's to thank the families and everyone who helped in the campaign. And I want to join with John in extending condolences to the family of Raymond McLean, to his wife Sheila, his son Sean, and his daughter Sheila. And many other people, many of them here today, I don't want to name names, who helped in so many little ways. The families were courageous, they were resilient, they were tenacious, they were determined. They are brilliant. So to all the families, because there were down days and there were difficult days and days when perhaps I thought they wouldn't get through, think of all your memories of your struggle. Think of all the tough times, all the moves, all the good times, the breakthroughs, the setbacks, the disappointments, the big moves forward, the wee moves forward, slipping back, all standing together. You made a stand for your loved ones, for your families, for Derry and for Ireland. You made a stand for people everywhere who love freedom. And you're from a great tradition. We, all of us, are from a great tradition, a generous tradition, a peaceful tradition. And the families had a story to tell, and they told it. And they had songs to sing, and they sang them. So thank you, all of the families, all of the campaigners. You made sure, and your loved ones made sure, on that civil rights march against internment, that all of us, Protestant, Catholic and dissenter, will be free one day, that we will overcome.